What a nice little quote to start the show, right?
Yeah, that's very inspirational, man. It's like some Rocky Balboa kind of shit. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But it's kind of true though, Jimmy. It's not always determined, and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a great quote just for life in general.
Of course,
I like that. That's a nice touch.
Absolutely, because it's a new era. I mean, like I said, fresh channel, fresh year. We'll obviously talk about obviously all the year and stuff like that. We've got tons of stuff to talk about, and as always, we're going to be talking about wrestlers to look out for in. And I nearly said 2024, then 2025. Roll the intro. Happy New Year, people, and welcome, of course, to another edition of the Magical Wrestling Podcast. I'm, of course, one half of the host, Liam Wakeland.
And you guys know me. I'm the American half of the equation. New channel. Who dis? Mr. Isaacs. Hello, everybody.
Dear Mr. Isaacs, obviously, we just got over Christmas, New Year, and stuff like that. Did we have a good Christmas, my man?
We did, my man. It was very, very busy, of course. You know, I'm going like 10 different directions. That's just how it is when you're a single father on a holiday such as Christmas. But yeah, it was a very good time. I got to spend a lot of time with some family and my children, and it was a good time to be had. Very hectic, but it warmed the heart, definitely. How about you over there? Did you have a good Christmas overseas, Lear?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I think I posted a picture. Obviously, can't beat me mum's Christmas dinner. I'm just going to point that out, by the way. Love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw your plate, man. It looked good. Yeah.
I will be honest, I didn't finish it all, but you know what? I was stuffed after it, pun intended.
Hell yeah, my man. That's how it should be. You're supposed to like gorge yourself on food during these holidays. That's part of the experience.
Absolutely. And then, of course, sadly, leading up to the new year, I got a little bit of a bug, so I was just kind of cooped up in bed up to the new year.
Tis the season, my friend.
It is. It is.
It is the season of illnesses for sure. Yeah, my kids have been alternating sicknesses every few weeks or so too. So I fully understand that, my man.
Yeah, the funny thing was, I mean, I got ill, then my sister got ill, then my mum got ill, then we found out at the end of it, it's like, oh, I've been ill, but I just didn't say it. Like, that's what my dad said. I'm like, well, you could have said something.
You know how some older men are, man. They're just like, I feel like shit, but I'm all right. Just sweep it under the rug. It doesn't matter. I'm going about my daily life.
Absolutely, absolutely, of course. But as you can see, there's obviously two people here, but there's always a third wheel in this show, and I don't know how to actually, like big him up. But I'm just going to play this clip, and then we'll bring him on.
Look, you're here. Yay! Look.
Good on, Annie.
Hello.
What's going on, salty one?
I'm good.
Good to hear.
Good.
How was the Christmas, Annie, and New Year?
Yeah, much the same. Really good. Had fun. Got
Anything exciting?
Did you get some salt?
Yes, we had some salt. Yeah,
they had salt in a stocking instead of coal.
Yeah, it was definitely put some. Yeah, lots of salt, lots of lime, lots of acidic stuff. You know, us Scots. You know,
a Young Bucks DVD.
Yeah,
that kind
of stuff. Tried to wipe my ass with it, but it hurt.
Oh dear.
We're starting off this new channel right here, my man.
Do you know what? We're not even scripting it. We're just going to go with it and see where we end up, right?
That's how. I guess we could, maybe take a moment to address that. It is kind of exciting that we've got like a refreshing start here, and like, we're just doing things with all due respect to where we were at before. I'm still affiliated with them, love those guys to death, but this is like a new, fresh start where we can just do whatever we want. I mean, like, there's no like editorial control of any kind. Like, we're just gonna wing it and do what we see fit. I like that. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Of course. So we want ever to get some bit of a bad news thing out of the way. So, Mr. Isaac, obviously, I saw this before I came on the air. thing, obviously with JP and stuff like that, man.
Yeah. Like apparently his girlfriend had a really bad health issue, and it unfortunately seemed to be a lot worse than initially had been reported. So, do you have some details you wanted to provide about that?
Obviously, yeah. I mean, he has obviously put a post. I mean, I've got the post. Do you want to read? Should we read it out, or should we let people? Should we give him that privacy? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't read the whole post. I mean, you can just kind of give a little synopsis of it.
Okay, let's give me a second. Let me load it all up. But he has obviously opened a gun for me as well and stuff like that. And I just want to point out the link for that is in the description of this video. Do you know what I mean? Every little helps. You know what I mean? It's time in need. Let's be honest.
Yeah, apparently she's gonna. His girlfriend, JFB's girlfriend, is gonna have like a lengthy recovery period because of the South episode that she's had, and there's a GoFundMe that's been set up. Apparently she's I don't know a ton about her, but apparently she's a yoga instructor and must be a pretty popular one because like they her students set up a GoFundMe for her and try to help facilitate her recovery. So we put a link to that in the description of this video, and if you have anything that you could give at all, that would be great. I'm gonna contribute something probably as soon as the show's over, and we just wish her well. And JFB's a brother of ours from the AFW network, and I just hope she recovers fully and without any difficulty.
Absolutely. I'm just obviously flicking through the post. I'll say one of the quotes, which was, "To say my heart is a vast understatement. While it took me a lot of time to find her, she's my missing puzzle piece." And that's the key thing, man. Do you know what I mean? The missing piece thing. Like I said, I'm not going to read it all because it's kind of obviously private. But as Mr. Isaac says there, like I said, the link's in the description, for the GoFundMe. Like I said, contribute what you can, even share it. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? Our thoughts obviously are with JP at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, he's a great guy. A little personal anecdote here for me. If you want to know how great of a guy JFB is, when I first had my split from my ex, almost, it's damn near close to 2 years ago now. It's getting close to it. And, when he found out about it, he hit me up and he sent me this long message. It was like, "I just want to let you know I'm here for you. Here's my phone number. If you ever want to come down to Nashville, sleep on my couch, or we can go party." And, I don't know if I've ever shared this publicly, but like he sent that to me and it just meant the fucking world to me. He's just such a great guy. And, I definitely am going to do what I can to be there and support him. And, just hoping for the best.
Absolutely. We'll obviously keep the GoFundMe in the link of every video we do until obviously she gets to where she's 100% again. JP, like I said, my man, do you know what I mean? I wish you nothing but the best for everything. Do you know what I mean? Anything to add?
No, such a great guy, and hope everything goes well.
Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? So with that out of the way, guys, we're in 2025. I mean, Mr. Isaacs, what were we expecting from wrestling from 2025? Because I remember we spoke before Christmas, and you said that 2024 were pretty. I'm just going to say it was shit.
It was. I mean, it might be an unpopular opinion. I think Haney would probably agree with me, but 2024 was shit. And, we kind of talked about this off the air a little bit a while back. And it's like Haney had brought up the point that wrestling kind of just fell off a fucking cliff after WrestleMania.
Yeah, it died, didn't it?
Yeah, it was so hot. It was incredibly hot until Mania. And then it just fell off a cliff. And it was like it was just very subpar and mediocre for the rest of the year, in my opinion. On both sides, on all sides. I think New Japan was mediocre. I think AEW was very mediocre. And
TNA as well. TNA hit the ground running at the start of 2024. And then it just shit the bed at the end of it.
Yeah, when they fired Scott D'Amore, that like really kind of demoralized everybody. I think that really backfired on them a lot because they had a lot of momentum at the beginning of 2024, and it just hit a wall.
Absolutely. And did you actually see that apparently Scott's obviously working with WWE?
I saw that was a fake report.
Okay, end of discussion.
Yeah.
I think
Well, I
the
saw
guy
that
can't.
too, but then
The,
Fightful's been doing this thing here lately where they've been kind of like rebutting false
Mhm.
stories on Facebook, and that was one of them. They said that was completely fabricated and made up.
Okay. I mean, I saw the thing, but I didn't actually look into it thorough. I was just wondering if you've actually seen it. So I'm glad you've obviously clarified it.
Yeah, I did see that floating around. I saw another one floating around too that I haven't verified. I don't know if it's true yet, but I'm going to look into it deeper about. And Haney, tell me if you saw this. The rumors about what they're going to do, but possibly bringing back Evolve with
yes,
tied
sort of
with the
level up.
NXT brand. I was wondering if that was legitimate or not. Have you seen anything further on that?
No, just a speculation on it. You know, you just that level up's disappearing, and it's going to be called WWE Evolve or something like that. You know, but
NXT Evolve, I think, is what they were going to
aye,
call it.
but Gabe is involved with the WWE, so it would make sense. And apparently, from what I've read, it's going to involve non-WWE contracted talent. So I guess that's where the WWE ID stuff's going to come into play as well.
Yeah,
So
I would love to see Evolve come back. This is something that was talked about around the start of the pandemic, and then it kind of just got shelved with everything going on. But I mean, Gabe Sapolsky, you know, for those of you who aren't too familiar, you know, owned and operated Evolve, which was a very, very big independent company. He was the head booker of Ring of Honor throughout their glory days. And he was a Paul Heyman protege. He was Paul Heyman's executive assistant in ECW. So he learned under the best. He's very good as a wrestling booker. I said a couple of years ago, I think Tony Khan should have hired him to book AEW, but you know, of course, that's Tony Khan's going to book it himself, I guess, into the ground. But
yeah.
But Gabe Sapolsky's brilliant, man. I want to see him do some work. So I hope this is true, and I'm kind of excited about it if it is.
Yeah.
The rumor I heard around that was again, it goes down to it, and I can sort of believe it because there was animosity there. Was with the Bucks and Kenny were the ones that were vocal of not doing that, you know, because of their relationship with Ring of Honor and what was it? And then obviously they had a bad relationship at the end with Ring of Honor as well. They sort of shook hands to go there, and then they sort of backed out and did the EW thing, you know. So
yeah,
what was it called? So it's all rumor and sort of innuendo, but you don't know, you know, until somebody comes out and writes a book about it, you know.
right.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, or what was it? I mean, the big tell-all book about EW will be called the NDA.
It'll be called "You Shouldn't Have Listened to the Bucks, You Idiot."
What's going on, Tiffany? She said, "I loved Evolve and excited for it as well. If it's true, so there's a little bit of buzz there."
Yeah, what's up, Tiffany? Glad to see you here. Evolve was great. Like I've seen a handful of Evolve shows, and they were really, really good. I mean, it was basically that old kind of American puro spirit of like the early Ring of Honor days. And I thought Evolve shows were really good. Haney, have you seen much Evolve?
Yeah, but I mean, Evolve was, you know, they put on some fantastic shows, and you think of the talent that came out of there that are now spread across both WWE and AEW, you know. Definitely, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Basically, we're missing a sort of Ring of Honor, sort of Evolve indie sort of thing now in the wrestling world. What was it called? But I mean, I have my opinions on that. I mean, everybody goes on about how great it is to have like two big companies now again in wrestling. I think what was it? And WWE's part of the problem with that, but as well. But I do think EW has almost had a detrimental effect on the indie scene, like the WWF supposedly did with the territories back in the day. You know,
there's no doubt.
Yeah, wrestlers have been signed in. What was it? With any, was it sort of like buzz have been signed onto like decent contracts that you wouldn't even get in the WWE. You know, but was it from what I've heard, and it's been detrimental to the scene. You know, we really need something else out there outside the WWE and what was it, AEW. You know, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on it.
So, Annie, you mentioned obviously there about companies outside WWE. Do you think like TNA and stuff like that then needs to up the game a little bit then?
I don't. I can't see. Yeah, I mean they do, but I can't see how they can. I mean, it looked like they were going to get their act together at the beginning of last year, and then they pulled the rug from under it all. There is sort of speculation though that what was it? That Scott wasn't very good with the finances. I mean, I know his family's quite rich, you know, with the construction and things like that. But supposedly I mean, I don't know if this is a story about the sort of coming from sort of like the TNA diehards or the people that are trying to discredit the whole them getting rid of them, because I think that was a bad mistake. But there's a sort of an implication that some of these big names like Moose and things like that, and what was it, Josh Alexander and things like that, they were on big money, you know, that more than what a company should like TNA should have been affording. And that's one of the reasons why a whole load of them are meant to be leaving as well, is because they've been offered what they see as low ball contracts. But you know, what was it? Again, it's business. You don't know the what's real and what's not. You just see what's sort of speculated. But that's something that's floating about the sort of rumor mill just now. That what was I mean, it's not as if they don't have money. Anthem have a lot of money, you know, so it doesn't matter. But there's a belief that the talent was paid too much to keep them there, you know. So
okay, Mr. Isaacs?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Haney. I think TNA had their chance last year, and they blew it. I just don't know how. At this point, I'm not sure they are apt to climb up and be a real viable alternative to WWE and AEW. I think they had their shot, and I think they blew it. I don't know if they're going to get another chance, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, Haney, you obviously Mr. Isaac said about 2024. Would you say 2024 was shit as well?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what was it? Like I said, it died at WrestleMania. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was some fantastic moments in wrestling, but in general, what was it? TV was awful for the most part. You had your sort of you had your sort of like upset. What was it? Exceptions with like the Drew and the Punk stuff and things like that was really good. And what was it? I know there was a few things, the sort of Bryan Danielson thing at All In and things like that. You know, that sort of run was good, but
yeah,
for the most part, most of it was not great. There was like everybody knew where the Bloodline storyline was going. It was just on pause until Roman came back. You know, so people weren't interested. What was it called? Over in what was it? Over in AEW, what was it? You had Adam Copeland. He lost his edge by jumping off a cage and broke his leg, and now he can barely cope. You know.
He copes with a leg injury.
I don't even know what to think about that name change.
Yeah. But what's even worse is the Pointer Sister. I hope the Pointer Sister song is just a one-off. You know.
It's not, dude.
Is it not?
It's not. Fightful said it's like the permanent. I went on a whole thing about that in the group chat, and of course, you know, some people were like, "Well, I don't really mind it." I'm like, bro, like this is the absolute worst song you can have for a pro wrestling show in 2024. I mean, do you just want to scream, "I'm not cool, don't watch me, young people"? That's what you're doing when you put shit like that as your opening theme. I mean, what is there anybody that has any kind of semblance of like quality control and culture and society that works for that company? Like, what the hell are they doing?
What were they thinking? It's a mixture of trying to latch on to, like, nobody knows it, like trying to latch on to stuff that's happened. I mean, when you had Raw's War, it was you know, and you had Impact, it was like, yeah, come on, like, what was it? Let's go fight. Let's go hit somebody over the head with a chair. Tell your teacher to go suck it. What was it? No, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what Tony's obsession is with these licensed songs, but was it they tried to do the November Rain thing as well, and people says, oh, it was cool. It was like because of this is no Heyman was cool because he didn't actually pay for the song. You know, he just used the song because he could. You know, didn't care about copyright. He didn't pay the what was it, the $500,000 licensing fee for it. He just did it. You know.
Yeah.
You know what was it? What was it? I do miss good songs for like intros and things like that, but yeah, that one's a doozy. You know. That was
I'm not feeling it at all, dude. I think that's a very bad decision. I was just baffled. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like that seems like a parody. Like that song is like so uncool in 2024. Like I mean, you know, get a fucking rapper, you know, get a metal song.
Yeah.
You know, like you're repulsing and turning away like anyone who's under the age of like 25. Like I don't understand it.
We'll never know. It's AEW, right?
Exactly. I don't know. He books for an audience of one, I guess. I don't know.
You should get the Crash Test Dummies song or something like that for one of the other shows.
There was a girl who... that would be fucking terrific if like a wrestling company used that as like their theme. There was a boy who jumped off the top rope and broke his fucking foot.
His femur.
Jesus Christ. Oh dear.
And then there was a plumber.
We get into the main event.
Let's go for it, buddy.
Here we go.
The main event.
Add a little extra.
Hell yeah. I like it. You got your fuck to give?
No fuck to give.
Let's
to give.
do
So the first show, obviously, 2025, we always like say, which wrestlers should we look out for? Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I've obviously got a few in mind. Again, we'll throw some UK ones in and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there's not really no plan about this. We're just going to go with it and see where we end up. So we'll obviously take it in turns. Mr. Isaacs, kick us off. What do you think? One wrestler to look out for in 2025?
One wrestler to look out for in 2025, I'm going to throw out the name Trick Williams.
Interesting. Any particular reason?
Yeah, because he has been a major star in NXT. If you watch, which I'm not a huge NXT guy, but anytime that I do watch it, especially those big arena shows that they do once in a while, like the crowd is chanting, the entire crowd is chanting along with his music. The guy's a star. He was NXT champion. He looks like $1 million. You know, if Swerve is the big black superstar of AEW, he could be the equivalent of WWE. Like, he's fantastic. And I think that when he gets moved up to the main roster, which is probably going to be soon, I think he's going to take it by storm. And I think he could be a major breakthrough star.
Interesting. Not what I thought you'd start with, but anyway, what do you think? Rick Williams.
No, definitely. I mean, there's so many great names in NXT that could sort of make that jump, you know, into that, I think. But yeah, he's the one that you think that's probably going to be massive in the WWE. It just depends how they make him look when they come up, you know, who they put him up against. It's definitely he's a top pick to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of his matches and his ring work is right. I completely forgot about obviously his crowd reaction, but the only thing I've got an issue I've thing is like when wrestlers get called up from NXT, we see it quite often. I mean, they get they just fall flat, and I don't know if that's them or is that just like. But then again, it's obviously it's under Triple H tutelage now, so is it going to be a different? Do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's going to be different because, you know, Triple H is more. He had more of a hand in NXT than Vince did. Vince didn't give a shit about NXT. he just wanted guys to put on the show. But like, I think Triple H kind of it's like a passion project for him.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to take these NXT guys a little more seriously.
Yeah.
But it remains to be seen because we really haven't seen a lot of big call ups since Triple H has taken over creative. So it'll be interesting to see. But I would wager that he'll be used better than he would under the previous era. Yeah.
I mean, Triple H is a huge fan of that old sort of NWA sort of style wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it said that even in his office he had the NWA championship which Ric Flair gifted him, and then acted like a big wet vagina and demanded that they give him it back because he was released from WWE, you know. So they gave him it back, obviously, but you know, you can't be doing that. You can't be giving people stuff and then taking it back like that. That's just wrong.
Ric Flair is just such a mess.
Yeah, he is.
That poor guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know if his brain's scrambled at this point or what, but he's just he's an absolute mess of a human.
Didn't he say he could have one more match? I'm like, no.
Yeah, dude had a match a couple years ago, had a fucking heart attack in the middle of it. And he's like, yeah, I could have another match. Woo! Like, dude, no.
Just no. Just
you couldn't. No.
Don't do it. Annie, who's on your list, my man?
Oh, what was it? I'm going to start off with the big return at Royal Rumble, Eva Marie. I'm joking.
All red everything.
Yeah, what was it? For me, probably. What was it? By the end of the year, I expect to see. What was it? Jacob Fatu being like. Were you going to say Jacob? You had them ready.
Yeah, well, I've got a few pictures who I think we were going to say. So Jacob was on that list, so it's absolutely fine. I've got plenty to talk about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's just that guy's just money and as a star, you know. He's but was I don't think Solo's got it. I think that they'll try and put Solo over, but he'll be the good guy to keep around as a sort of like chicken shit heel, you know. But was it? Well, each one of them sort of step up. But to me, Jacob's got to be up there. Him and getting near the top of the WWE sort of by the end of the year. I think just. He has it already, you know, the look, just his facial expressions. I mean, you look at the guy and you shit yourself, you know, and I mean, he's meant to be lovely as well, you know, and to meet, but you just got that Samoan look, you know, that's just awesome, you know, he looks like a badass.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, how many times have we sat here saying we think Jacob should obviously be the leader? He's got that leader type of, you know, personality and stuff. And I obviously saw a lot of his MLW stuff as well, so I'm a huge fan. I think that's a great pick. Mr. Isaacs, what do you think, Jacob Fatu?
Yeah, he's an absolute star. Like, he should be the one leading the new bloodline because Solo Sikoa is not believable as a leader. He's not a main eventer. Jacob Fatu is. Like, Jacob Fatu should be the guy who's running the new bloodline. I know that he works as the big bad enforcer because, you know, he's a badass, but I think he should be the leader. I think he's got a poise. I think he's got a look. He's got a confidence about him, a swagger about him that I think just eclipses Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
And I think he should be the guy. And I think that moving into 2025 and through this year, he's really, really going to shine. And yeah. I think Jacob Fatu is world champion material. I do.
Yeah, definitely. No more. I love Solo.
Yeah.
More douchebag Solo.
Get Solo the hell out of there, man. I mean, he's, you know, Solo's a decent talent, but he is just not. He is not a main event heel. He's just not.
Yeah,
it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one and stuff like that. But like I said, I mean, Jacob Fatu, and we even put the guy obviously in the poster for this. Do you know what I mean? That's how confident, you know, we thought we were going to be big in 2025. Sticking obviously with Fatu and stuff like that, Mr. Isaacs, do you think this Bloodline storyline is still impactful as you think, or is fans starting to get sick of it, do you reckon?
Oh, I mean, when you watch the matches and the segments on TV, they still get a huge reaction.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it. You know, and it's been going on for a long time, but it's still the angle to watch, honestly. Like, and I know it's kind of it's getting old, where Roman Reigns will just disappear for weeks on end, and then come back. I mean, at some point it has to come to a head, and there has to be kind of a conclusion here.
Yeah.
I know that they've got this big what is it, the tribal chief match or whatever on Monday.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see what they do with that. But yeah,
which Heyman will probably turn on because
that's kind of what I figured too. Heyman is just Heyman. He's a slimy heel.
Yeah,
like Heyman's not gonna be a baby face. I could see him turning heel on Roman. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's a little stale, but it still gets a big reaction from the crowd. I mean, you can't really argue against that.
For me, what was it? What was it? It's not really an angle that we can get behind because we are old and past it. Essentially, you know, kids love it. You know, they love the finger in the air and the slogans and the stuff. You know, and it was let's be honest, the WWE is primarily a kids TV show.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is. I mean,
you know,
it's one of those things
action figures. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over top of you there, Haney. I was just saying that you know, it's one of those things where it's like they get a huge reaction, but like those of us longtime fans are kind of like, ugh, this is like getting boring. But it's like you can't argue with success. No. WWE, the main product, is super fucking over right now. Yeah. Like, it's not the most popular thing with the IWC, but they're very over.
Yeah,
and, I mean, the crowd reactions on these shows, it's incredible. The attendance is incredible. Yeah. They're making money hand over fist. I mean, you really can't argue against that.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before. The IWC is like a tiny wee slither of the wrestling population. You know, they think it's big, but it's not. You know, it's tiny. But the one thing about what was it? That the sort of whole sort of like storyline and things like that is the WWE documentaries. When you go back and watch the Roman Reigns one, you know, it was like over a 4 or 5 year period, and you watched that 2 hours of it. Once they condense that into that documentary, like we watched that like we would with the Stone Cold runs and things like that as kids, you know.
Yeah.
That's where they're getting their views. It's just it's one of the things that's just so over with the crowds, you know. But why would you change it? It's like see it like a football team or an NFL team won the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. They don't go, well, this is getting boring. We'll shift all our guys now and we'll bring in some new guys in the hope that we can do it, because we're sort of boring now winning all this sort of success, you know. So why should wrestling do it? Shouldn't wrestling do it? When it works, don't fix it. That's what they say, isn't it? When something's working, don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't 100%. Argue with their success, man. It just, and the small amount of people that are in the IWC, that's the people that watch AEW. So.
You just hope that they've got an off ramp when it starts to dip, that they can go somewhere. You know, I think they have. Yeah. I think they've got people like Braun. You know, what was it called? And it might actually, long term, it might actually affect somebody like Jacob, or what was it? Or if they bring in Zilla or whatever, you know, or here we go, another one, you know.
Yeah.
They turn against it, but at the moment, it's over. You've seen that pop. You've seen that. Everybody says, "Oh, Roman Reigns boring. Roman Reigns boring." He never turns up. You've seen that pop when he returned. It blew the roof off the place. You know.
Yeah.
And it was all built up for that specific. That whole like period of him being off was just built up for that specific moment. As soon as you heard the dun dun dun, you know, the place went nuts. And that's what wrestling is. That's what we had as a kid. Oh, we had it every week when that broken glass went, you know.
Yeah. Right. So before we obviously carry on and answer, obviously, Tiffany's question, because I'm going to throw that one, obviously, to the guys. We're going to do a little section now. Something new on the show is called the mid-session interval. So what we're going to be doing is going to be promoting wrestling shows up and down the UK. Do you know what I mean? Just to show us, obviously, the UK scene and stuff like that. So it's a 90-second little thing to show what shows are coming up in January, and then we'll explain. directed that nice little video. Then that's that.
I like that. That's a cool little video, man. I like the promotion that said it's England's maddest wrestling or something like that.
And it's funny you mentioned that because that show's happening right now.
Nice. I like it.
So as you can see, there's obviously some great promotions up and down the UK. So what we've done is we put a list in the description again called upcoming shows. Go check them out. Like I say, you can check all the content and stuff like. And it's just like, do you know what I mean? Promoting, wrestling shows.
Absolutely, man. Like that's what we're here to do. We're here to promote good wrestling, and there's an abundance of that in the UK. You guys are getting spoiled with some good content.
I could put AEW and WWE and all that, but I have like a long list of like 300 like wrestling shows.
Yeah,
right.
Sorry,
hell with them. They suck. I've actually got a good wrestling. Well, you could say it was a wrestling event in March. And what was it called? It's more of a it's more of a sort of sit down and talk to. But what was it? Let me just give you a clue.
Yes, I remember you sending me the link for that. But yeah, obviously after this week, and I've got to edit that slightly, so I might add some promotions into it and stuff. And just like I said, do you know what I mean? Promoting and stuff. Do you want to show Tiffany's comics? I'm going to throw that one in for 2025. What do you reckon?
One to look out for in 2025 is Julia. I think she will beat Roxanne this coming Wednesday.
Julia was on my list.
Yeah, she's on mine too. Yeah, because she is an absolute star. She's a great wrestler. She's got a great look. I mean, her body is like rock hard. Like she's solid. She's athletic. I haven't seen. I'll be honest. I haven't seen any of her NXT work, but I've watched some of her Japan matches, and she's got it. I think she could be a star for sure.
Yeah,
the match they had. I mean, but was it? They've not really had an opportunity to get like the show. But was it a lot of that in-ring talent that she's got yet? Because it's I think by the end of the year they were doing that sort of Iron Woman sort of stuff, and what was it? So. What was it? It's been tag teaming and things like that. But she's just starting out. I mean, what was it? In NXT, just can't wait to see what it evolves to.
Yeah, and the one thing I like about the NXT thing is there's some great women during that actual roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Cora Jade. Do you know what I mean? Julie, we're talking about here. That roster on the NXT is pretty stacked, Mr. Isaacs.
Well, and who Tiffany mentioned here is our opponent, Roxanne Perez, is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like she was actually on my list too. Like I think she is absolutely fantastic. She's super young, good looking, athletic. She was the former Women of Honor champion. She's got accolades. I think her heel run's been great. And I think she's absolutely fantastic. And I think I'm not sure if they'll bring her up to the main roster this year or not, but if they do, I think she could really make waves in the women's division. I think both her and Julia. I mean, that's like the future of WWE's women's division right there.
Plus, you've got was it Jordan Grace, whose TNA contract's about to expire. So and she's already hinted that she's going to be. She put 29 days, which is the day of the Rumble. So you wonder if she's going to show up at the Rumble again. She better not be taking my Eva Marie's spot because I will be having a word with
her. Oh dear, Mr. Isaac, back to you.
I mean, Jordan Grace is a good one to put on the list as well, for sure. I hadn't thought about her, but yeah, she definitely needs to be. For me, I'm going to add Kyle Fletcher to the list because this guy is an absolute star. I like how when he's turned heel, he's kind of bulked himself up a little bit. He's cut his hair. Like he looks like more of a badass now. He seems meaner. Like I like it. I like him paired with Don Callis. I like him being a singles guy and not being part of Aussie Open anymore. Mm-hmm. I think this guy's fantastic, and I think he's going to be in the upper echelon of AEW this year.
100%. And the thing is, obviously, with Kyle as well. I mean, that match with Will is an incredible match. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that really well. I mean, stuff like, and I actually like that style. When he obviously went heel, I'm like, okay, let's see where they go with this. But do you know what I mean? It's different. And I didn't think about the bulking up bit. Obviously, that's well spotted. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Kyle, I think that was the first name I wrote down. But yeah, Haney, Fletcher.
I mean, I mean, definitely. I mean, you know my opinion on that style. I think, I mean, they've got too many of them now. They've got Will Ospreay, and they've got Kyle, and they've got what was it, Ricochet, who's sort of like transforming into sort of like Andrew Tate as we speak. You know, what was it? You know, too many of them, too many of the same style. It's too choreographed for me. You know, I can't get immersed in it, unfortunately. But I mean, I know a lot of people love it, and I know they're good at what they do. You know, I just what was it? I mean, I agree. He's definitely the one to look out for, and I think in EAW this year, in terms of being elevated. But I just can't get behind that style of wrestling. I just doesn't like sort of. It's too much, you know, for my old brain. You know, flip,
You know
flip,
about all, are you?
flip, duck, what, flop, quack, quack, woof, woof.
Well, here's the good thing though, Haney. If he's bulking up and he's going to work as a heel, he's going to be doing less of that.
Well, just to give you a perspective, when I first seen Will Ospreay, he was about 100 pounds soaking wet. You know.
Yeah.
So go back and look at pictures of Will Ospreay from about 2013. He's like a stick.
Oh, I know.
You
Yeah.
know,
I watched him and Ricochet work the exact
Yeah.
same match they did in Dynamite on Evolve like 10 years ago.
I want a Hulk Hogan to return, and so that he and Ospreay can have a brother bruv feud. You know, they just do like a 20-minute promo in the ring, just going brother bruv, brother bruv, brother.
Kind of like the woo off between
That is an incredible thing by the woo off.
Yeah. Between Flair and Black Machismo. Yeah. That they can just do a brother off. Brother, bruv. Brother, bruv.
I always love the story with that because I remember like him talking about it in an interview, and he said that the first thing Ric Flair said to him was, "Let's hear it."
Yeah.
That's all this thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how are you doing it? It's like, let's hear it, and then bam, the rest of the day's history.
The first time I met Will was at a show in Motherwell, and what was it? We were outside and we're standing there. Him, what was it? Matt Riddle. What was it called? That guy that shall not be named, Marty. Who? What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? And the one thing that Will wanted to know, we were at the front of the queue, is it's like, hey, Rob, is there a Nando's in Motherwell? I says, well, there's not. There's a KFC. So they went to KFC, which was just, you know, but obviously not as good as Nando's, but they were obviously looking for some chicken. So, yeah. My first interaction with Will was him asking whether there was a Nando's or not, you know. You know, but that was a great show. I give you, well, we've talked about it before, the World Cup thing, you know.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. But I had actually seen him before. I'd actually seen him obviously a few years before that, but it was the first sort of interaction I've had with him. I've spoken to him, I think, 3 times now at shows, but that was the first time I sort of had an interaction with him, you know. But yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool guy. Annie, back to you for your second pick.
Well, I am going for a controversial one that nobody will see coming.
Eva Marie.
Even more shocking than Eva Marie.
Go on.
Okay, maybe not as shocking as Eva Marie. A little known wrestler. He's called John Cena.
Okay, explain it, because now I'm curious.
John Cena is about to turn heel.
No, he's
It's
not.
possible.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's never turned heel at all.
God, I hope he does.
Yeah,
I hope he does.
So
Oh my God.
Heel this run.
If John Cena turns heel for 2025, I think that is going to be electric. I love the idea of that.
What I think is going to happen is The Rock can't make WrestleMania, right? So he's going to pick his guy, and his guy is going to be Cena. Right, that's what I think is going to happen. It's the only way John can go out. He can't go out on top as a good guy. He just can't, you know. He just can't go out on top. That's my big shock prediction for 2025. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can just feel the rumblings of it.
I don't hate it, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it coming. I mean, anything to add on that, Mr. Isaacs?
No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't. 'Cause
I
it's a
think
surprise.
this would be great. I think they should do this. And I think they should make this kind of similar to like Hogan going NWO. I think Cena should come in. I think he should have a chip on his shoulder. You people booed me for years, and I came out wearing the bright colored t-shirts and everything, and you booed me. And so, you know what? Screw all you people. You all can kiss my ass. I think he should recruit the New Day guys to be like his sidekicks. And they could all be like, look, we did all this song and dance bullshit, and all you people did was boo us. So you know what? We're the veterans around here. We run this damn place. We run the show, and we're taking over. And I think Cena and Kofi and Woods should be like the top heels on one of the shows and should just run roughshod over everybody. I think that would be so fucking cool. Like, I would love that.
Yeah, something big's got to happen at the start of the year for the Netflix and things like that, you know, and I that's what I genuinely think it is. I mean, maybe I've overanalyzed it. I'm a data analyst, so what was it? I overanalyze everything, but just looking at what's going on, they could turn Cody. I mean, everybody wants, like, Cody's boring, but if they turn Cody, they're going, oh, that's predictable, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to put myself into Triple H's mindset, you know. But was it John doesn't bring in the money that he used to in merchandise? It's not as if but was it it's not as if what was it he's like their top seller. And a lot of the guys that love John Cena, they're now what was it, in their late teens, early 20s, and they'd love that the guy that they love to turn into that sort of anti-hero. Guaranteed. If I was sort of sitting down and I was surveying what people think, and he was this, because if they just bring in John and do the ordinary thing and have him winning 17 and what was it and that, then it will just be a throwaway, you know. Or he did his retirement year and throw it away. I think they're going to do something big with John, and I think it's time that they did it. And it'll be so cool if they do. I really hope they do. I really hope I'm right, because I think it would be, as you say, like, and just have him come on TV and be like John Cena from the beginning, you know, just shitting on everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, he doesn't have to do the raps, but just like come out with that same attitude and demeanor, and like, you know, he could even like kind of throw some barbs like, oh, you people booed me because you liked all these guys that do all these stupid moves and jump around and everything.
Yeah.
And you know, he could just like mock everybody and come out and, you know, start calling his move the FU again instead of the attitude adjustment. That'd be a nice little throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Start putting people through tables with it. Like, I think it would be so cool if they had him just be a mean, badass, arrogant, I'm better than you because I'm from Hollywood heel.
Yeah.
He could come out and he could talk shit about Cody. He could say, you know, you all didn't like me because you thought I was too vanilla and boring. And then you've got this guy who's exactly the same. And just because he's Dusty Rhodes' son, you want to cheer him. You know, like I could just see him cutting fierce promos like that. Cena is so good on the mic. He's so charismatic. I bet he could cut a hell of a good heel promo.
Yeah, no, definitely. And can you just imagine that pop at WrestleMania if he beat Cody? You know, and then he has that last run with the world title as a bad guy heel, and then obviously he finishes up at the end of the year at Survivor Series with whatever they do. You know, I think that's the perfect way to go.
I want to see him do it. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on it, to be honest with you, but I would love to see it. I hope they do.
Yeah. Do you think it's more wishful thinking on my part then?
Probably, I think so. I think Cena's just going to be Cena. Like, I don't think I think they're going to have him go up against Gunther or something like that. And I don't know. I wish they would do this, and I hope they do, but I don't think so. I think it's wishful thinking, unfortunately.
I'm hopeful. I'll stand by my prediction anyway. Just now.
We'll see. We'll be having this discussion in 2026, so we'll just never know.
Yeah, and I'll be like, I was right. Get on you.
Dear. Right. So next pick, obviously, I've got, and I'm going to throw obviously one from Scotland here, so you might be able to help me out on this one. So with the UK and Scotland scene, the women's side of wrestling is pretty stacked. I mean, I could literally name wrestlers for hours. But I'm going to throw one who I'm a massive fan of, and I think she will be incredible, and that is Moxie Malone. Now, I've done a bit, obviously, research here, so this is the coaches it's obviously learned from. BT Gunn, Wolfgang, Kaz Evans, Kaylee Ray, Stevie Boy Xavier, Jack Polo, Jack Jester, and Lionheart. Yeah. I'm no expert, but that's a pretty stacked list.
It is, what was it? We've spoken about a few of them. BT Gunn is, what was it? If he's training somebody, that means they've got something,
Mm-hmm.
What was it? BT Gunn is a phenomenal trainer. I'm surprised EW or TNA haven't or WWE haven't picked him up yet to go and, he's a bit old now to sort of make that transition over there as a wrestler. But he's the wrestlers that are coming out from Scotland. Well, I would say the vast majority of the good ones have been near BT Gunn, So definitely, the women's scene in the UK is so strong. It's absolutely smashing everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But was it for me? It's just, and this is another one that you just can't argue with.
Yeah. Especially, like I said, being trained by so many people. Especially, even the one and only Lionheart. Legend, obviously in his own right and stuff like that. I mean, Mr. Isaac, obviously, I know obviously you're in the US and stuff like that, but yeah, what do you think, or do you know anything about the UK scene when it comes to the women's side?
I really don't, unfortunately, so I have to kind of cede to you guys on this, but, I trust your all's judgment, and I know that you all are very high on some of the women over in the UK, and, I look forward to seeing them whenever they cross over and, come over and wrestle here in the big leagues. I'm looking forward to it. I know we've seen, obviously Mariah May has done really, really well here stateside. And I want to see what more talent comes out of the UK in the women's division because
absolutely,
I think there's going to be some good ones.
Yeah, and the thing is, obviously, this is why the reason obviously I picked Moxie as well. Phenomenal talent. Do you know what I mean? I'm a massive fan of her work. One thing, obviously, I like as well is the promo side of stuff like that. She can kill a hell of a promo. And plus, one of my best matches, and I recommend going and seeing it anywhere, is the match she had with Angel Hayes, where she beat her for the Iron Girders Championship. Anyway, we spoke about Angel Hayes as well. Do you know what I mean? Speak somebody like that. Let's be honest.
No, definitely. What was it called? And I believe she's done some sort of mixed gender sort of matches as well, which went down really well. So
yeah.
But that's something in the what was it, the sort of British scene that's seen a bit more. I know there's this whole debate around that, but what was it? I've seen some dreadful ones. Women going up against men. But some of these women in the UK, they really stand up when they're out there wrestling the guys, know. So, what was it?
One of my favourite matches, when you mentioned that, happened last year, and it was with Cara Noir and Charlie Evans. Do you know what I mean? From Progress. Obviously, we've seen mixed gender wrestling and stuff like that. And like I said, there's a big debate about it, but that match alone, if anybody says to me, pick a match which you recommend for that type of wrestling, go watch that. It's an incredible match, two incredible talent. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, it is actually on the rise. I spoke to Leonie Rose last year, and she's obviously in the ring constantly, we're thinking it, and she said, I love it. Do you know what I mean? They don't hold back. They treat her no different, and I feel like sometimes that's winds some fans up, ain't it?
No, definitely, it does. But hey, that's what wrestling's about. It's about emotion, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
She's also got that big badass tattoo on her chest, so. What was it called? Oddly enough, it's an interesting one. I hear, but was it for the longest time, Vince was very much against sort of anybody having these sort of tattoos. Taker talks about it. So what was it? It's interesting to see that sort of change. Even Rhea Ripley talks about when she was getting a tattoo, she started wearing sort of pants in the ring because she didn't want to be she didn't want the sort of leadership to see the tattoos that she had until she sort of got a better name for herself, So yeah. So
right then, so obviously, Mr. Isaac, one more for you.
Yeah, and this one I think it's already kind of popped a little bit, but I think he's going to do even more in 2025. I'm going to say Braun Breaker. Braun is, if this guy's not a star, then somebody is really dropped the ball and needs to be fired. This guy he's got the old school look of the gigantic jacked guys. He's athletic as fuck. He's got this mean mentality about him that just, he's a Steiner. he looks and wrestles just like the Steiners, and like we need more of that in wrestling today. And I think this dude's an absolute star. Obviously, he's had a intercontinental title run that was really good. He's a main eventer. Yeah, this guy's going to be world champion at some point, and it may be in 2025, may not be. It might be a little later, but he's definitely going to do a lot in 2025. I think he's going to really shake the world up.
He's definitely a sort of main event generational talent, you know. What was it? I mean, when you've got somebody like what was it? What was it? Jim Cornette creaming his pants every time he mentions them. You know. What was it? What was it? That there's something there. Can you look at the talent that he's sort of helped? What was it? Or was involved with? People don't realise how great a trainer Jim Cornette was. You know.
Oh yeah.
The OVW stuff is just amazing. But for me, I mean, I've been saying it for a few years. What was it that Braun's the future of WWE? He's the face of WWE. Just an absolute beast. You know, and the energy he just brings to the. He's like Mojo. That was it, Mojo Riley or whatever his name is. What was it? What was it? But could actually wrestle. You know, he's got that sort of intensity, but
Mojo
can actually
Rawley.
wrestle. Yeah. You know.
Mojo Rawley, God. That's a name that I've forgotten about very quickly.
That's a little throwback, let's be honest.
It was only like 2 or 3 years ago, guys, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but there's wrestlers you tend to try and forget, ain't it? And that was one of them.
I hope you haven't forgotten about Eva Marie. I mean, she was.
How can you keep reminding us every fucking week?
Yeah, she's such a great talent.
Read everything.
Yeah, genius.
Danny, one more final pick from you.
I don't know. I'm trying to. What was it? I had a sort of few jog down, but I think. What was it?
I've got one for myself. If you want to have a think.
Yeah, you go first.
Right. Okay. So we'll throw obviously another UK one in, and I remember obviously taking you guys this. It's Kid Like Us 1 and Kid Like Us 2. Now,
I like that mask.
It's incredible. He actually had a mask the other one as well, but he lost it in a match. So, do you know what?
Yeah.
Now, one of my absolute favorite matches from the past couple of years was Kid Like Us versus Spike Gervais, where he ended the Progress Wrestling Champions. I think it was like 400 and some days. Do you know what I mean? Incredible thing. And the storyline he actually told with Spike is probably one of my absolute favorites. I mean, I can't speak about Spike enough. Do you know what I mean? Incredible talent and stuff. And these two, do you know what I mean, are absolutely incredible. Do you know what I mean? Ask any UK fan who Kid Like Us and Kid Like Us 2 are. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Incredible. Do you know what I mean? And you mentioned earlier on about the heel thing. I want to see, obviously, Kid Like Us turn heel because I'm curious to see, do you know, where it'd end up? Because he's such, do you know, well over with the actual fans. What had happened? Do you know, it's really interesting. I'd love to see it. I mean, Annie, did you do some research on Like Us?
Yeah, I mean, I know, what was it? I was a bit confused because I actually know about the first one more than the second. It was when you say, what was it? When you say Kid Like Us 2, I had to go and refresh to see how that came about. But yeah, I have actually seen both of them wrestle. So, what was it? But yeah, definitely. I mean, what was it? The American guy? What was it? All I can say is if you ever get a chance to go to a Progress Wrestling show, you need to do it. It is an absolute riot. It's wild, right? Yeah. What was it? What was it? Even the Progress guys were running riot at All In last year as well. Big Damo nearly knocked me out. I was just standing there, you know. What was it? But yeah. What was it? You know. These guys are killing it in the scene down in England. They don't make it up to the Scotland as much, unfortunately, you know. But what was it? Definitely one for. What I was trying to find out was the first one back wrestling. I know he had to retire, and that's how number 2 came about. It was a sort of Tiger Jr. sort of thing.
Yeah, it's something along them lines. Yeah.
So, but was it? I was trying to find out if he, because you know a lot of wrestlers retire and they come back, but I couldn't find anything. So,
there's a whole like backstory to stuff like that. Like I said, you'd have to obviously research it yourself. But yeah, the one where obviously the mask was the original Kid Lycos. Too. I mean, I've seen him wrestle in person. Do you know what I mean? Incredible talent and stuff. I mean, Mr. Isaacs, if you do get a chance, go check these two out. Do you know what I mean? Incredible talent.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look them up here on YouTube and see if I can check out some of their work this weekend.
Absolutely.
No, definitely. I'm going to as well because I can't remember which. I don't know if I've seen both or just seen the one of them or which one. I'm sure it was the original one I seen because it was like pre. What was it? 2020. So what was it? So I'll need to go and sort of look up. But yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So Haney finishes off with one final one.
Do you want another controversial one or do you want a simple one?
It's you, whatever you want.
I think, and this is probably going to piss off a lot of folk, right? Right.
Perfect.
And
that's what we like here.
What?
We want controversy, Haney. Give it to us.
You want controversy? I'll give you controversy. Yeah, I'll give you controversy. What was it? No, what was it? So obviously at the moment, what was it? There is a guy in the what was it? In WWE that's there. They seem to be very hot on. Fans don't seem to be overly hot on, but he has such a massive following. Not even
I know who you're going to say.
Yeah. And what was it? I hate him so much because the prick's good at everything. The prick's good at everything he does. Whether it be whatever he does. But
I don't even know who this is. I'm actually lost.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Fuck's sake.
I've got a feeling, a terrible feeling. This is we've talked about Braun, but I've got a feeling that Logan is going to be world champion at some point this year.
I could see that as a realistic possibility. Yeah.
Yes.
So, the thing is sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the thing is with Logan Paul, I mean, he's one of those where he's actually proven me wrong. I mean, when he obviously joined WWE, I'm thinking, oh, this is just like a publicity stunt, yada yada. But the guy can wrestle. Do you know what I mean? The guy does take it really, really seriously, and it's kind of like proving me wrong a little bit.
Yeah.
He's guys. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a fan of the guy per se, but he's got the look. He's got the athleticism. I mean, I know he's not a traditionally trained pro wrestler, but he looks better than a lot of people that are. Like
that's why
he's good.
That's why he's such a prick.
Yeah.
But
apparently, here's the thing about it, though, Haney, is that I'm not sure if he's going to do a lot of WWE work this year because supposedly he's going to be fighting Conor McGregor.
Yeah. My worry is that he's going to get a world championship and he's not going to be there. Right.
That's what would happen. Yeah.
Yes. What was it called? But the reason I said his name is because every match that he's had so far has been killer.
I agree.
What was it called? I mean, he even made what was it? Andrew Tate look good before he left for AEW. So.
How funny is it going to be if Ricochet actually starts acting like Andrew Tate in AEW and is like, I think women should know their place. I don't think the women here should be wrestling. I think they should be making my sandwiches.
Well, he's already made these quotes. That's where about that comment's coming from because he's been making these quotes.
I know. He said that about Samantha as a joke. I mean, in a heel persona kind of way, I guess, when someone said something about him making Samantha quit WWE or something. He's like, who else is going to make my sandwiches for me?
Is he just trying to be a bad heel and he's just not going to work because it's so likable?
He's really bad at he's really bad at taking shit online. He's always been that. He's always been like that. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about the WWE do that AEW don't and should. They take control of their sort of wrestlers' social medias and sort of limit what they can do on it.
Yeah.
You go back and look at what he was like before he joined WWE. He was pretty much the same. You know, somebody says he was just a gymnastic. What was it? A guy. He would go hard on them, you know, and what was it? You know, because these guys are very geeky about these guys are very sort of geeky, and they weren't very. What was it? They were the original. They were the original sort of. What was it? Basement dwellers, weren't they? They were like super geeky into it, but they were into high flying because they were into sort of the Ring of Honor sort of like Shikara sort of. Let's dress up like a Muppet. That was it? Wrestling type of thing, you know. And these guys get really. What was it? Into that sort of whole thing. That was great. This was the evolution of wrestling, you know. And they never actually learn to wrestle or talk, you know. And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they're doing with Ricochet. I know we're talking about Logan Paul, but Ricochet's probably a good one to talk about as well. What was it? Because they're obviously going to put Nana with him as well. What was it? So that somebody can actually speak for him, because he's dreadful on the mic.
Yeah, I remember seeing that thing saying one thing you should never do is let Ricochet do a promo.
Oh god!
Yeah.
Back in WWE, whenever they would give him the microphone, it was just like he was just like, "I'm gonna go wrestle and I'm gonna win." Like that
Like
was
a
literally
robot.
what he sounded like on the mic.
It's like a robot. Yeah, right. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would pick a robot over his promo ability in WWE. I think he's gotten better in AEW, but like his, yeah, I mean, I would take a promo cut by Siri or Alexa over Ricochet any day of the week.
Here's the question for these guys. Obviously, we've talked about what wrestlers would think. If there was a wrestler that you could put into a top spot, right? Yeah. What was it that we've not mentioned that isn't quite there, but you think would go there if they were given the chance? You know, who would you go with?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That is tough.
Give it, Marie.
He just had to fucking do it, didn't he?
No, I'm joking.
Eva
I'm
Marie.
joking. By the way, just to let everybody know, I don't actually think she's a great wrestler. You know, it's just
He
a
just
joke.
does this every
Listen to him.
single week, by the
He
way.
actually does think she's a great wrestler.
I don't think. I know.
I mean, she was trained by the Brian Kendrick. Like,
Yeah.
how could she not be amazing?
Have you seen him recently? He won a championship recently in a sort of indie. He's aged like 40 years. He looks he looks older than what Terry Funk was when he retired.
I haven't seen him lately, no.
Yeah.
No.
And in actual fact, he probably looks older than Terry Funk. Terry Funk's been dead for 2 years.
Well, I like how, Terry Funk wrestled in like 1982 and looked like he was 70 years old. And like he still wrestled for like another 2 decades after that.
Yeah.
The honorable one from Tiffany, which she's put, is Stephanie Vecchia. I mean, I actually love her joining the ring, Joe. I think
She's
that's
very good. Yeah.
Do you
Again,
know
I
that-
haven't seen her NXT work, but what little I saw her do in AEW, I thought she was fantastic.
And I love what was it years gone past. What was it? If she was coming into the WWE's what was the system just now, I would absolutely love a wrestler like that. See what she can do. She's amazing. She's fantastic what she does. But I wouldn't get too sort of embraced and hopeful for it because obviously the language there is limited. But now they've got like what was it Oscar, and they've got Io Sky and all that. They're out there what was it ranting in Japanese and all that now. I think that's fantastic. That's what it should be, you know. Instead of worrying about that promo work, let them go out there and work.
Mhm.
Whereas before, traditionally, the WWE was part sort of promo, like 90 part promo and then 10% wrestle, you know.
Yeah.
The story was, the match wasn't the story. The story was already built. The match was just the means to the end, you know.
Yeah.
But was it just amazing talent, you know? What was it? If we're going to name a female for what was it EW, Jamie Hayter again. She would already be there if she didn't get injured the way she did. You know, she got such a serious injury, so I can see her. Hopefully, she'll have another breakout year. What was it?
I think Kenzie Page. Sorry, I'm just going to throw a random one there. Kenzie Page from NWA. I think she's a good one.
Oh, definitely. I mean, she's probably, yeah. I mean, for her age, she's probably the best sort of female wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But was it not signed to a major contract just now? You know, so yeah, absolutely. I mean, what is she? 22, 23? You know,
23, I think she is.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, and she's out there killing it. You mean she looks like she's been doing it forever.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what's exciting is to see these young talents that are like in their early 20s
yeah.
looking really good. Like that. That's very good for wrestling's future.
Wrestling's such a weird bit of landscape now. And I don't mean this derogatory. You've got somebody like MGF who's now, 27, 28, and he's already in his part-time career part because he's
I know,
you know,
yeah.
you know, because he's obviously transitioning into like Hollywood and movies, you know.
I mean, I don't know what kind of role. I don't know how big of a role he has in Happy Gilmore 2, but that could potentially be huge for him.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge. That's going to be a huge movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if he's in it for 5 minutes or if he's in it for the whole movie, but if he's in it for the whole movie, like that's going to really, really substantially raise his star power.
Yeah.
100%.
I think he's got a few movies lined. I think he's got a few movies lined up. So, what was it? I think we'll see less and less of MGF, unfortunately. You know.
Yeah. I mean, by his mid-30s, he might be full-blown Hollywood. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely sort of there's definitely that sort of thing about him. I think he's. What was it? I think AEW dropped the ball with that whole angle. You know,
God. Don't get me started on that. I've ranted on that repeatedly.
Yeah. Like I said, that's an episode for another thing. So, wow, guys, we've got the first show of 2025 out of the way, man. That was an hour and 12, and you don't even feel like it, let's be honest.
No,
yeah, I literally just looked up at the clock whenever you said that. The timer, the little StreamYard timer we have here where we can see how long we've been going. And yeah, man, that flew by. That was a really good first show on the new channel and the new year, and it's really cool, man.
Of course. So, of course, now my first interview is coming up on Tuesday as I chat to Will Caven, which is the Cruiserweight champion from Rev Pro. And then, of course, we will be back at the same time next week. Do you know what we hadn't done for a while? I've just realized we hadn't done a highs and lows for a bit.
It's been a while. Yeah, I don't even remember the last one we did. Was it...
I think it was a mystery one where we just couldn't decide.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't there for that one. So, yeah, I think that was the last one. The Young Bucks.
Yeah, it ended up being a Young Bucks.
Highs.
We're going to do the highs and lows of Eva Marie.
The lows and median.
The lows and the mid-lows.
Yeah, I think we'll get at highs and lows obviously for next week. Like I said, stay tuned obviously on all the socials for which one we're going to be doing. And yeah, guys, thank you so much obviously for watching. If you guys are going to check the show out, all the links are in the description and stuff like that. Support the show, get involved. Even email us. You know what? We've got an email set up, themagicalwrestling@outlook.com. Send us a little funny question. You can send anything you want. We'll answer it. As long as it's... Is it going to be PG or can it be anything?
Fuck it. I say anything.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to... I mean, don't send us, like, pictures of your anatomy or anything, but, like, you know, like, if you want to ask us a question, I say anything, but, you know, what do you guys say?
I mean, he says anything, so let's go with it.
Anything?
I think we should be a lot more anything goes around here.
Okay,
I think that'd be cool.
So any questions you've got for us, send it to us in the email. Again, links in the description.
Yeah.
We'll probably answer it.
Yeah. How long's a piece of string?
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Exactly. You know.
Do you remember when we got asked the question, how big is it?
Oh, of course. That's like our most famous clip. It was from Bryce, wasn't it?
It was. He actually sent us it was a t-shirt giveaway. I remember it.
Yeah. That, like, we made a clip out of that, and yeah, that was like the most famous. That was probably the funniest, like, short little clip that we've done in our show's history together.
Yeah. Bryce as in Bryce.
Yeah, Bryce.
All right, okay. Not that guy.
Oh dear. So do you know what? Obviously we used to end it on the Just Keep Fighting thing, but Mr. Isaacs, You don't have to end it like that on the show. You can end it however you want. You can say fuck off if you want.
Maybe I should do that. I should just tell everybody to fuck off at the end of every show.
Yeah, can I do it? Fuck the box.
No, but I don't know. I haven't really formulated a closing, so I'll just say this. I just hope everybody has a great weekend, and we're excited about this new channel, and we're excited about the new direction that we're going in, and we're going to do a lot of fun things here, a lot of creative things here that we might not have been able to do in the past, and I'm just excited to see where it goes, man. And stick with us through 2025. Share and like and comment, and help us spread the channel so that we can we can grow and have a new audience here. And I'm excited to see where we're at this point next year.
We'll end it on this, shall we?
Yeah. Fuck you all, says Tiffany.
Yes.
It's like, good night, everybody. Fuck you all.
Eat good cheese. That's what I say.
Eva Marie, 2025.
Yes.
Cheers for watching, guys.